Hold up.
Hello everybody, welcome to the channel for a transfer window live show this evening. As the countdown is officially on until the season begins, 3 weeks tomorrow we begin our campaign, hopefully one which will end in promotion. Also, just for the record, you can probably see, obviously, my new background. It isn't right, guys. I need to amend the background because it's just that it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit properly. So yeah, obviously I'll speak with the guy that obviously that did it for me, and I'll get that sorted anyway very, very soon. But anyways, we do have a jam-packed show this evening for you guys tonight as we rate our transfer business done so far. What else needs to be done in this window? I've said it many times, guys, already, but we're going to cover it anyway. And any other transfer news in the past 24 hours as well. I will obviously get into that towards the end of the show as well. But joining me today is a fellow Town fan. Yes, obviously I have been looking for Town fans since the season ended, because I did want to kind of a bit more fan engagement on screen with myself. Obviously, I love you guys in the chat, of course, but I did want that extra kind of interaction with Town fans as a guest as well. And obviously, yes, we have got somebody joining us very, very soon, and he will be joining us throughout next season as well. Mainly Friday nights. So yes, preview shows for the weekend games. There's loads of stuff to go through, guys. I just want to say thank you all so much, everybody, for 1K subscribers. Honestly, hitting it last night is just a dream come true for me, really, to be honest with you. And yeah, obviously, it meant a lot to me. So yeah, join me for a special live show on Monday night as we celebrate that milestone. So yes, hopefully see you there. But it is also that time again to start making your team for the EFL Fantasy Football Team game, of course. Game week 1 coming up very, very soon, as I said. So you can join my league. We did it last year, but I didn't really follow through with it. So yes, take a screenshot of the code there, and you can join the league once you set up your team, or you can join via the link, which is in the description of this video. I will keep track of it more this season as well, because last season we did do it, but I wasn't updating you guys with the table, and then I didn't even announce who won last year either. So yeah, not very good. I'll be more productive this year. But yes, make sure you do smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and get your comments in throughout tonight's show as well. But without further ado, it's time to welcome our guest on to the show. Mike is a Town fan, and of course, I'm really excited to have him on for the very first time as a guest. So without further ado, let's get him in, guys.
Hey, how we doing?
Hello, mate. How's things? Good to have you on, and thank you very much for taking your time up this evening.
Yeah, good to have me on. Good to have me on, Ryan. It's good to it's good to sort of like get on here and have a chat in it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've left the code on. But yes, guys, if you want to join the league, then there we are. You can do so. Thank you very much, Noah. I appreciate that. Congratulations on the 1K. Thank you. And Wayne's, and he says, hi, I see we beat Lincoln 5-3. Yes, they kept that secret, didn't they? I didn't know we were playing today. But yeah, we were behind closed doors, friendly. I haven't seen the match report yet. They haven't even released that yet. So I don't know who scored or anything. So
it was a big Red Wiles 2, 1 own goal. I don't know the others. I said I wanted Ladapo to score a hat-trick, but
yeah, that is wishful thinking. But yes, good to see the lad scoring 5 goals in one game. What is happening? I know it's a pre-season friendly, guys, but still, from what we've seen so far. And Josh, good evening, Ryan. Hope you're well. Yes, hello to you, Joshua. Good to see you. But look, it's fair to say we've had a very busy summer so far, haven't we? Obviously bringing a new manager, 8 signings to date, and more to come, which is definitely needed. And obviously we're here to discuss all of this tonight. But yes, let's start then. I do want to get your thoughts, Mike, on the managerial appointment, first of all, before we get into the signings. Obviously, Lee Grant was appointed. it kind of had a mixed reaction when it was when it was announced, didn't it? And obviously, it took quite a few weeks to actually get this manager in. Obviously, it was taking a bit. I don't know. I think I was starting to get a little bit impatient at the time when it was before it was released, before it was announced. I thought, what is happening here? We need to
Yeah, I
get
think I
somebody
was
in.
we was all holding back a little bit, weren't we? I think I didn't renew my season ticket until I kind of knew that it wasn't
Yeah.
Wayne Rooney.
Yes,
So,
that's right. I was the same. I was the same. Yeah, because I wanted to see what would happen. Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
But yeah,
but
what did you make of this kind of appointment initially, and how do you feel now? Because I feel like the more time, obviously, that first interview, I really impressed. I know we've had all these good interviews from managers gone by, and obviously it's just not worked out. But I
mm,
can tell, I really took to him, and as time's gone, I've really took to him even more because, especially when I know that he's had a big say in this recruitment as well that we've had so far. But yeah, what do you
yeah,
make of the appointment overall?
I mean, he's a clinical speaker. He's somebody that I knew he'd gone through a few teams. I knew he'd gone to Manchester United as a
Yeah,
goalkeeper. I think he played in the lost. I think they played Sunderland. They lost 7 something on penalties. I can't remember exactly, but I knew he'd sort of like he was in the goalkeeping world. And then he went to Ipswich, obviously, and went in there as assistant. I think it was assistant manager, wasn't it, at
yeah,
Ipswich? And
assistant under,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
so
right.
he's learned his trade, I think, a little bit there. Did I want you know I, looking around managers that were available, who could we have got at the time? I mean, it came out of the blue, but I was kind of excited because it's kind of a restart, not
Yeah,
just, I mean, for us, but I mean for Lee Grant as well. It's kind of like
yeah.
a fresh start for him as well, isn't it? So yeah, really excited, and I'm going to be more excited, I think, as the transfers go on and just see what he can bring in.
Yeah, yeah, because like I said, I've not really had a proper been able to properly like kind of look at what he's going to bring to the table in terms like obviously we go into the pre-season friendly in a few weeks. Obviously, actually see what his football is all about. Because obviously I've seen highlights. Yes, that's fine, but you
Mm,
need to be there watching it, don't you, to know fully. But yeah, no, I
yeah,
agree, mate. Like I say, it's an exciting appointment and one that I have a good feeling about as well. And look, we've gone down the experience route of managers, haven't we, over the years, and just hasn't worked out either. So why not go for somebody that's
yeah,
inexperienced in this role? Obviously, not inexperienced in terms of doing some course of management, but not first team coach. Um, but
but
yes,
League One's changed as well. League One's not what it used to be. It's a
mm,
bigger league now. It's got,
yeah,
there's more money in this league. It's getting more popular. I think he's a good appointment for us. I really do. And
yeah.
he talks well. And let's see if he can put that onto the pitch.
Yeah, we want to see it on the pitch as well, don't we? It's all right talking. Well, we've had this over the years with all these managers,
Yeah.
but I was completely, what was the word? You know, when you heard the first interviews of these managers that have come in, I was really really excited, and then they're really disappointed when I saw what football they brought to the table. So yeah,
Mm.
but yeah, let's see. But yeah, I do want to get your thoughts on. Let's just go to the comments in a moment. Yeah, Josh, you were good. Good. I know you joined us last season, didn't you, for the fantasy football? So yes, make sure you do join us again. And you were top for ages. Yeah, I agree. Looking good. Big up to you, Paul. Hope you're doing well.
I should have
Uh,
worn my Hey Dude top, shouldn't I? Could have blended in.
oh, have you got the new shirt already?
I have, yeah, yeah,
Because I don't pre-order mine. You see, I wait until they come in shop before I don't like pre-ordering. I just buy mine there and then. All right, nice
yeah.
one. Right, oh yeah, I'm excited to see what it looks like in person. Actually, to be fair,
Yes,
but yeah,
it's really nice actually. In fact, I'll see you in a few days, Ryan, so I can show you. Can
yes, yes, absolutely, yeah, that's right. So, look, anyway, obviously, what was your thoughts on the no sporting director approach? I know there's a few rumblings about where we're going to get one, where we're not, and to be honest with you, I don't really care that we haven't got one because the last sporting director, as we know, was an absolute disaster, and he seems to be working without one. But do you think that long term we need a sporting director?
if
Um, yeah, what do you think?
Look, I think we all know that what had happened previously with the last sporting director, and who he brought into the club, and it didn't work,
Yeah,
and it wasn't working, it was going wrong, and we could all see that, and there was a lot of animosity towards him. I genuinely believe he tried his hardest. Thought what he was doing was right. No, I know you can disagree, but at the end of the day, he's been found out. He's gone. Do we need one now? No, not when Lee Grant. When you've got a manager, I don't believe you do.
Yeah, not at this level as well. No, I
No.
was kind of like thinking, you're trying this. Well, yeah, you can try your best, but the reality is, to be fair, he didn't bring himself to the club. Kevin Nagel did. Well, Kevin Nagel should have known his track record in this country, and he was dreadful at Stoke. He set Stoke
Oh,
back years,
yeah.
and his
I
track
know.
record wasn't very good. So, look,
No.
and I think another thing that I didn't like about Matt Cartwright as well was his whole demeanour and body language. He never once took responsibility for any of his actions, and I think that he came across very arrogant, very cocky,
Yeah.
and I didn't like it. I didn't, and I think that's why
Yeah.
fans were getting even more on top of him because the way he was coming across to
Well,
everybody, and it's like, no, you
yeah.
know
His
what I mean?
interactions are horrible. He was a horrible interact. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
look, trying his best, no, just completely incompetent, and he's really damaged. He has set his back a long way as well. Look at the shape of the squad. The amount of work we've signed we've signed 8 players already, and we're still short. That just sums up how much damage he did over the last few years, and that's how I see. Look, bringing the players that he did in. Look, we're not going to get into it, but bringing the players
No.
he did in is absolutely criminal.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, the fact
you,
of the matter is, the thing is, do we need a sporting director? No, we
no, we
don't need a
don't.
sporting director.
Not at the
If
moment.
we once we start, back in the Championship, back in the Premiership, yes, we'll need one, I believe. But we need a football man. You know,
Yeah.
someone that's and not another Cartwright.
Yeah,
You know.
absolutely. Anyway, moving swiftly on because we don't want to be going on about this for ages. Anthony's in the chat. He says, "Big up Ryan, congratulations on 1K." So big up to you, Anthony. How are you doing? Good to see you. But look, let's get into the signings that we made, and obviously, I'm going to go through them one by one actually, and
Yeah.
just kind of discuss it. Really, to be fair, I mean,
Mm.
many people know my thoughts, but this guy was the first guy that we brought in, Ryan
Yeah.
Ledson.
Mr. Ryan Ledson. Yeah.
Yeah, the first player that came through on a free transfer, a real strong, combative central midfielder who
Put a
loves a
smile on my
tackle.
face. I knew we were
Yeah,
going in the minute we signed Ryan Ledson. I bought my season ticket that day and went, yeah, this is going to be amazing. I
yeah,
don't know
no,
why. You know.
I was just gonna say, like, obviously, he's really like brings a lot of experience to him, a lot of leadership skills as well, and really good
Yeah.
character, personality, and winning mentality as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
what do you think Ryan Ledson can offer this midfield? Because our midfield has been dreadful for ages, hasn't it? And obviously
He's
he's
more
coming
of an
in.
attacking midfielder, though, isn't he, Ryan Ledson? He can score goals, and we know he can at Preston North, and he's a leader as well. He's
Yeah,
and we lack that. In all last season, even the season before last season in the Championship, we know that it was pretty quiet on the pitch, wasn't it? It was not a lot of people shouting, you know, and I think he'll bring a bit of leadership in that midfield, and it's definitely what we're going to need. And
yeah,
athletic, good age, in the prime of his career. You know, definitely what
yeah.
Huddersfield need right now.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. Really, really like that. So I'm excited to see him. To be fair,
Yeah,
uh,
100%. Yeah,
next up, this guy Marcus Harness arrived from Ipswich. Another free
right winger from
transfer.
Ipswich. Yeah,
Yes, plays on the
yeah,
wing. Comes with plenty of experience himself as well, doesn't he? Also another winner in the dressing room. Has promotion
yeah,
under his belt, and no one who looks like he has a good kind of character. All these players that we sign, I've liked what I've heard from them. They want to come here and achieve. They don't want to come here and just play football. They want to achieve as well, and I think I like that. And yeah, but
yeah.
what did you make of this sign? Because look, he's a really
Uh,
good player, isn't he?
I couldn't believe he came to us. To be honest,
Yeah,
even
yeah,
with the Lee Grant connection, I
yeah,
didn't think he'd want to drop down a league. But the fact that he came to us and he's so positive in how he speaks,
yeah,
I think it's a credit. I'm going to keep crediting Lee Grant here, but with these players, but they all credit Lee Grant when they come in because they all
yeah,
talk about how well and the image and the projection of where the club's going. Which gives a good feel good factor around the club. But when Marcus Harness came in, I thought we are serious now. We are
yeah,
serious about who we're bringing in. And so Ryan Ledson came in, Marcus Harness then came in. You know, sharp, good players. We suffered down the right, didn't we, on the last season as well, because we had Rue Skinner Miller on the left. Um,
yes, that's
you
right. Yeah,
know,
that's right.
uh,
Yeah.
and so you know, so someone down the right, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a great sort of like signing. I really enjoyed that when he came.
Yeah, no, it was. I think that's when I started to get really like, hang on a minute, we're actually serious here. We're actually showing some ambition
Yeah,
here, and it did
yeah,
get me a little bit excited. But then I had to rein myself in again because think, you know what, still got a
yeah,
long,
yeah,
long way to go. But yeah, no, really, really good
yeah,
start to the window we had, and it just continued, didn't it? Really.
yeah,
Of course, this guy, Sean Rowan, and
yeah,
I'm going to do these two together, and
yeah.
Joe
Why
Lowe as
not?
well. Two big, strong central defenders who have shown what they
Both
can
over
do at this
6 foot.
level.
Yeah,
And I think, to be honest, we did well getting these in as well, to be honest with you, considering I think both are championship quality players, in my opinion. But they bring that
yeah,
quality we need at the back, strong, powerful, good character and personality, want to win, and you can tell they have
yeah,
that winning mentality as well. And real, but not only that, they have a desire to keep improving, and they're a good age as well, aren't they? So yeah, what did
yeah,
you make of
yeah.
these two?
To be honest, I'd fallen off my chair at that point when these two came in. I was literally thinking to myself, of last season and watch, playing sort of like, these players, and I was just thinking to myself, how are we managing to get such good
Yeah,
quality through the door, so early on as well? And these are early signings. These are guys now that have been in the team now for what, nearly a month, maybe, or something like that. I can't
yeah,
remember the dates
yeah. I can't,
exactly,
I
but
can't remember. Yeah,
they've
yeah,
been with us a while, but now, and they they're great. They're athletic. They're tall.
yeah,
You know, we suffered last season. As we all know, our back three, four, five, whatever we were playing last season. It got a bit muddled, didn't it, at the end? Um, these had that stability. They really do have that stability for us. I know we're going to go on to someone else at the back so very shortly because we've got a lot of defenders to go through, but but
yeah,
um, but these two are pretty much can lead us in the championship as well, and that's I think is
yeah.
really important for us. They can going
Absolutely.
forward. They're gonna come with us into the championship, and that makes me excited.
Yeah, no,
So
absolutely, yeah, and I do think that our defense like we see, our defense was awful last season. I was never happy with that defense, to be honest with you. And now these
yeah,
two have come in. I really, really feel more better with these two coming in now.
yeah.
Uh, Darkson says, wonder if Gucci is going to be announced too. Yes, of course, Lyndon Gooch is linked to a
I think we
move.
should go on to that later because there's a few
Yes, we
points about that, isn't
could.
there?
Yeah, I actually, I've got it on my notes here. Actually, if we
Yeah,
get Gucci, I will believe. Jeffrey says, yeah. I mean, look, we just need to keep going, don't we? Keep making these signs. Yeah, big up. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I really worked hard these past few weeks, months, to be honest with you. Dion Charles genuinely looks okay now. I don't really think Dion Charles, from what I saw, making a glorious chance the other day in that pre-season friendly. I thought, my goodness, he hasn't been working much on his finishing, has he? Uh,
and
but but
I don't know. I mean,
Taylor,
I'm a big. I really like it. I do like him.
yeah,
I mean, I like both of them. I like Charles and Taylor. I really do. Yeah. I mean, he's missed a sitter. I've just got that feeling that when he starts hitting the target, you
look,
know,
I hope he does. But I'm
it,
just saying, in pre-season, that's where you see the players, and that's where you see how are they doing, how are they
yeah,
looking, and that's how you make your judgments ahead of the season. And for me, if
yeah.
he keeps if he keeps getting these chances and he's not taking them, then I will start to raise questions again because,
100%.
so yeah. But look, for me, Taylor, I said it before last season. Look, he came in, hadn't had much football before, then he got injured, then he was
Yeah.
catching up again. We didn't play to his strengths when he was in the team.
Look, he
Admittedly, he
saved
should
he
have.
saved us in Blackpool, Ryan. So I'm happy with him.
But admittedly, he should have done better when he did have the ball to his feet. But we were just
Mm.
launching the ball up to him. We're never going to win it. He's five foot
Yeah, not at
nine,
his
whatever he
height.
is.
I don't think he
Uh,
won one header last season.
yeah,
You know,
he's too small. So, but look, I
yeah,
think
too small.
Taylor will come very, very good this season. He's got a full pre-season under him by the time we start the season.
And he
I
looks
do
fit,
believe
doesn't
it.
he? Fit and
Yeah,
sharp. Yeah,
yeah. So look, we'll see. But we definitely need another striker. I agree. I know you've seen Nakimolo join Luton, even though he said he wouldn't join a league one team. Yeah, that's a bit
yeah, that was sad.
hypocritical, isn't it? Obviously,
Yeah,
him saying that, saying he believes he should be staying in the Championship, but then he dropped down to League One. It's like, well, clearly you
yeah.
didn't think what you felt. Anyway, but look, 35 years of age. Well, look, I mean, I wouldn't have refused him, but I certainly think that he would have more have been a. I think he could have been a good player from the bench, to be fair. But again, he doesn't add height, does he, to the
No,
front
no, we
line?
don't.
So
We don't need that kind of player.
no, no.
No,
So
no.
no, I'm not too fussed really. What
Gooch is a
position does?
right back.
Yeah, but he can also play on the wings as well.
He can.
Further
Yeah, that's
forward.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so he's very
yeah.
versatile. But anyway, we're gonna get into him very very
Anyway,
soon.
yeah.
Um, but look, and then also we did announce the coaching team. Lee Grant's coaching team was announced, wasn't it? Then obviously, uh, Mark Bridge Wilkinson, who was apparently at the club before, which I can't remember him to be fair. But then he went on to work in Liverpool's academy. Most recently as the under-18s coach. Then Paul McShane, of course, from Manchester United youth set up where he was a coach, and Jonathan Robinson, who was also
another
joined
youth team coach. Yeah,
Jonathan Robinson was from he was doing. He was on Steven Gerrard's coaching staff, wasn't he, in Saudi Arabia?
That's right. Yeah.
Previously worked with Gerrard at Aston Villa as well. So yeah, I mean, again, I do like these because the coaching, the backroom staff is what kind of obviously he's decided to go with 3 assistants, hasn't he? And I think they've all got they all come with pedigree, don't they? So were you impressed by these kind of appointments?
I mean, the fact that we've pulled Premiership level coaches into League One to essentially, I think, bring them into senior coaching. Because I think that's the way that this is going to go, isn't it? They've been teaching, they've been at youth level, and now they're going to come across, but youth level in the Premiership is probably a little bit more advanced than what it is, at our level in League One, in Championship. So yeah, to get these guys through the door as well, just another indication of the vision of where town's going.
Yeah,
and for me, it was just singing to me all day long, and I can't wait to get back in my seat. I really can't.
Yeah. I mean, and you know what? At the end of last season, when it was finally all over, I just felt like, I never thought I'd be feeling as excited as I do right now at this stage. When I left the stage the last game, and I thought, I don't even know where we're going to end up here. Just so demoralising, wasn't it? After a really painful season where we really, really did underperform. But look, we are getting more and more excited with these, with how things are shaped up. But look, let's just say hello to Aidan in the chat. Hello, lads. Hope you're both okay. Big up to Aidan.
Cheers,
and this guy's a real one. Been here since day one when I set up the channel. So yeah, big up to Aidan, and he's
come say hi to us down on the match days.
Yeah, he always gives me a because he walks back. He's actually now a stand, by the way. He always waves at me when he comes past me, and because he knows where I sit.
Well, we're sat in the Riverside, aren't we, for the Burnley game, which is bizarre. So that's going to be a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like that. It's a friendly, so I don't really mind. But I don't like that side at all.
I don't know.
But yeah, anyway, it'll be all right for one game, won't it? But yes, thank you very much. Appreciate that, Aidan. You have really helped me along the way, to be fair. You've been here since the very beginning. But look, let's get back into it then. So the next guy, look, I don't even know if we're doing this in order, guys, but look.
Order.
It's more or less the same.
Josh Feely, what a player. What a guy. He's already scored for us. Come on.
Yeah, share me your thoughts on this guy. Obviously, coming in from Aston Villa on loan. Obviously, he did play last season in League One with Shrewsbury Town.
Yeah.
And
again, he's going to be a guy that we know is only going to be here, mate. Once will he stay with us in the Championship for an extra season? This is me being optimistic, as you know. But is he going to stay with us in the Championship? I hope he does stay with us for an extra season. Yeah. I know Villa are going to want him back straight away because he's a class lad, but if he goes back to Villa, I won't be too worried as long as we're in the Championship when he goes back.
As long as he helps us this season to get us back there. And look, obviously, still only 20 as well, but a lot of talent, a lot of maturity at his age. He shows a lot of maturity at his age and a lot of talent, lots to learn. But look, exciting player to have. So again, another player that will add something to the back for sure. And we'll need every single one of these players to help us in a long, hard season. Next up, a very familiar face.
Welcome back, Murray Wallace.
Murray Wallace, yes. So, what did you make of this when you heard this? Because I was kind of a little bit surprised.
I don't know. For me, it was a strange one because I didn't expect. I thought Murray Wallace would have seen his career out in a higher league and then retired. To come back, he's going to be a squad player, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's going to be there to support the lads and give a bit of I could see Murray Wallace coming on when our backs against the wall, we're 1-0 down. you know, or even at 0-0 and we're being pressed, you know, and I can see him coming on, leveling the playing field, giving a bit of advice to the lads at the back and really supporting them, and and giving that advice that they need. But saying that at the same time, our defensive line's so good now. I mean, I think he might just be there if we get someone that's injured.
Yeah, no, but I think
So,
he's a good player, like you say, a good person, character to have around the dressing room, full of experience, and
yeah,
like you say,
and an
yeah, no,
ex-town man, which is even better.
yeah, no. So yeah, obviously he was with us once between 2012 and 2016. So yeah, he was with us for a few years, to be fair, wasn't he? So,
Yeah.
um,
So
but experience, he's versatile as well, so it will be useful for us. And
yeah,
yeah,
and
look,
he is a championship player, level player, and no matter what people say, he is, and so the fact that he's here means that he can go on with us into the championship, and that's, I think, a key to all these signings.
yeah, no, I agree. So yes, another name that we know around these ways. And then, of
Yeah,
course, this guy, Owen Goodman, who I got really, really excited about. Play, top quality
yeah.
goalkeeper.
I
And for
don't know if many
me,
people have watched this guy at Wimbledon, but oh my God, it's like watching Spider-Man in the nets. He's
yeah,
absolutely on another level. You can tell he's definitely Premiership level.
yeah.
You can just see the difference straight away. And I think there's going to be a lot of competition to get between them sticks this season.
Look, for me, I said it on my channel before. I think Owen Goodman will go into the number one spot. I've not been convinced with Nichols or Chapman.
Yeah,
And I think Goodman. I think the thing is as well. This is where my thinking as well is. Crystal Palace wouldn't have loaned him to us if we weren't going to guarantee him game time, and that's what I see
yeah.
because
Well,
he doesn't want
that's
to be coming here and sitting on the bench because that's no good to him. It's a loan. So yeah,
yeah, no,
uh,
totally, totally. And there was that delay with his contract, because I know
yeah,
that he was sorting out his Crystal Palace
yeah,
contract whilst he'd already passed the medical down at Canal Side. He was already a Huddersfield Town player, but couldn't be announced until Crystal Palace had finalised his contract with them. And
yeah,
happy to have him on board now and have it official.
yeah.
It
Really
kind of
exciting.
put the cherry on the cream at the moment. But then
Yeah,
there's and it keeps on coming. It keeps on giving at the moment,
yeah,
which is a great feeling.
yeah. Look, to get 25 clean sheets, I don't care what level it is. To get 25 clean sheets in League Two
You know,
is outstanding, and
yeah,
helping them to promotion. We'll be playing them next season, won't we? So yeah.
yeah, oh yeah,
But look, he's ours now for the season, and we're very, very grateful for it indeed. So
yeah,
yes, and then our eighth signing, of course, this guy Jack
yeah. Jack
Watmore.
Watman, another Preston North End boy. Yeah,
Yeah, what did you make of this one? Because obviously, this is
I, I
we
was
have had to
quite
pay.
happy.
Yeah, we have had to pay. I believe around £250,000 for this guy, but not much.
Look, I mean, we've got. I don't know. Are we paying compensation for Joe Lowe as well? Is that or
Yeah, I
Sean
think
Rowe?
it's Sean Rowe. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I think it might be maybe
half a
both or
million or
one or the
something.
other. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't.
Anyway,
Yeah. But
but look, I mean, if you look at our transfer window, and I know I've spoken about this with many people, we have probably done the best business
mm,
ever in League One. We have brought in all these players, and if we've spent 700,000 and got them players through the door,
yeah.
I mean, Lee Grant's a genius right now, in my eyes. You know, he must. I just sit there laughing, looking at all these players, and you know, and don't get me wrong, I'm watching the Bradfords and Burnleys, and I'm watching what transfer business they're doing, and the Plymouths and that, but I'm just sat there thinking, how are we getting these players in? Because most of the
Unbelievable.
players, especially the teams that have come down, I mean, I think Luton's only lost a couple, but you they're walking out of the door at Plymouth. Well, not walking out the door, but they've lost some key players down there.
Yeah.
You know, and for us to get these players through the door, I mean, God, it's like Christmas has come early for us
Yeah,
so
absolutely. And
far.
like I say, another player that has won promotions. He actually won the League One title with Wigan back in
Yeah,
21-22, and he actually played
yeah,
all of their games
yeah.
when they got from. So he was a big part.
I
So
think
look,
did
Jack
they call him the
Watmore.
boss? Did they call him the boss or something? He's got a nickname, hasn't he?
Oh, I
Something like
don't
that. I
know.
don't
I
know.
haven't heard about that. I don't know, but
Yeah,
yeah, maybe he does. I'm not sure, but yes,
but yeah, I mean, loves to tackle, loves a good tackle. He's a great tackler with the ball. The
yeah,
great thing is him and Leds. Ryan Ledson together. They know each other. It's going to be like, it's hopefully there's a bit of a seamless passage of the ball through that into the midfield, and it could be really good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Of course, we have had a few outgoings as well. Uh, Sorba Thomas going to Stoke, and I just was very
Yeah,
relieved when this happened because I
great.
think
To be honest, great move for him. Really happy for him.
great move for us because he was a
Yeah,
disgrace, unprofessional, very unprofessional. With he got too big for his boots and
yeah,
too busy on social media, posting on his Instagram stories, making childish remarks, and
yeah. I
and
mean, if he
and
doesn't
do,
want to play, leave.
yeah, his
The great
future's
thing is
be
he had a year away. Which is great because it meant he was out of sight, out of mind. You know,
Yeah, no, I think we would have sold him last summer had we could have done, but we just couldn't get rid of him, so we
yeah,
had to loan him
yeah,
out, and that was the best option to loan him out at that time. So yeah,
yeah.
no, but
He
I'm just
scored
we
a
have
couple
got
of
a good
goals, didn't he? So he's done all right.
we've got a good again, not sure how much we got for him, but we did get some money for him, didn't we? So
Yeah,
yes,
no, we
good
did.
to.
Yeah, yeah.
And then before we do get into the final one, I'm going to talk about now.
All right.
Michael says, "Evening, Ryan and Mike. Hope you're both okay. Big up to you, Michael. How are you doing? Good to see you. Yes, we're doing all right. Thank you, and hope you're well as well. But look, we are going to discuss the most recent news. Brodie Spencer leaving the club after 5 years with us, coming through our
Yeah,
academy into the first team, and as we know, obviously he had entered his final year of his contract and obviously it was the club have come out and said that he did decline multiple offers, most recently one this summer, a very generous offer, that was
yeah.
what they said, and he didn't
I
want to sign. So what did you
look.
make
It's
of
all the
this?
best to Brody. I think he's like. I would have loved to keep him. I didn't want him to go. Genuinely didn't want him to go. I thought he was one
Yeah,
that didn't get enough game time. Um, you know, I think he was injured, wasn't he? But yeah, I didn't want him to go. Young lad, 21, is he? I think
yeah, 21, yeah.
still 21. But I think we've got a great price for him. It's a shame he's gone. He's gone. He's gone and John Hellick, hasn't he?
Yeah, Oxford,
Oxford.
yeah, yeah.
So two great players that we've bloody given away there, really. But
It's a
saying that,
shame, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah,
But both in similar situations where they both want to leave, and I think you can't really. They want
no,
to
if they
leave. They
want
want
to,
to leave. Yeah.
we've also. I think everyone says that. If a player said it's time for me to move on, I need to go. Go. There's no hard feelings in it.
And I
Um,
think, yeah, and I think that's the consequence though of well, obviously Hellick was different because he moved in January, but I mean Brody especially, if he would have got promoted back to the Championship, then
I would have
I do
stayed.
think I think he would have stayed.
But we'd have been able to offer him a competitive salary then, wouldn't we, as well?
But the club said they offered him a really good salary.
Yeah, I believe
So I
that.
don't
But I
know.
mean, we don't know what we don't know what
A
competitive
generous
is,
a
do we?
generous
For him,
offer must mean quite a big amount. A generous offer. I mean, it depends what they define as generous, but maybe they're just saying that. But I don't know. We don't know, do
yeah,
we? But
yeah,
look, it is what it
uh,
is. I am
yeah. A
gutted
bit of a
though.
loss. I'll put it down as a loss for us. That's going to go as a loss for this season,
He's a big key
unfortunately.
player and big boots to fill. Whoever
Yeah,
just step up to the plate now, and obviously we are linked with, some players potentially could fill those shoes. I'm still not convinced that the other players currently at the club can step into Brody's
mm,
position and do well. That's just the way I see it, but we'll see.
yeah, yeah, totally.
But look, we've gone through all our signings, outgoings, everything. So, what rating would you actually give us out of 10 at the moment in terms of how we're doing so far in this window?
You know, because of the requirements, still, I'm going to
Yeah,
give us an 8. Yeah,
you're going to give it a what, sorry?
I'm going to give it an 8
An
so
eight.
far. Yeah, out
Ooh,
of
that is
10.
very generous.
I
Yeah,
think it is. I think it is though, because I think um, we suffered last season in our defensive line, our midfield. It was we did suffer a lot. I think we've done amazing business. So I do think the business that we brought in deserves an 8. You know, it won't go any higher unless we start bringing in some more quality.
yeah, no, yeah, I agree. I know what you say. I just think that because we have still got so much to do in terms of getting a few more players through in that final third, which we're going to go into in a minute. I don't
Yeah.
think you can give it an 8 just yet. I think,
Well, I'm going to give it an 8 for what we've done. But the overall business, come the end of the transfer when we start the season, then I may downgrade us then at that
yeah,
point.
no, for me, I'm basing it off what we've done so far and what we
Yeah.
else we need to do as well.
And what
I
else we
think
need
for
to do? Yeah, we'll probably put a 6 then. I'll probably knock it down to a 6.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for a 6, 7
Yeah.
ish. Well, I've been
Yeah.
really impressed with, what I've been impressed with most with this summer is that we have that proper recruitment strategy, don't we? This summer, we're heading in a real
Well,
positive.
they've got a clear strategy this time instead of well, when I say a clear strategy, we don't know what that is, but but clearly defence is priority right now.
Well, the
And
strategy is getting proven players in that play at this level, want to win, and are leaders. That's the
yeah,
strategy to
that can
me, and
take
that's
us
how I see.
up a league as well.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
strategy. That's how I see it, and
yeah,
we are heading in a positive direction now, which is good to
yeah,
see. There's a plan. I can see there's ambition, like I've already alluded to. I think there's
yeah,
been thought behind each signing as well. You can tell it's
yeah,
being thought through. It's not just been a scattergun approach that we've had in recent years. It's been
yeah,
thought through, and that's what I like. Proven winners
yeah,
with that winning mentality as well. So yeah,
yeah, one hundred
really, really
percent.
good.
Yeah, really
Um,
happy with it.
but like I said, we do have a lot of work to be done, which we're going to move on to what we need to do now.
Oh,
It's been a good window, but we
mm,
need to get some more quality in that midfield because if we don't address this, then I think we go from an automatic promotion place to playoffs at the most. That's how I see it. I think if you look at the midfield, the poor midfield impacts the strikers. I also think with decent creative, kind of attacking midfielders,
yeah,
Taylor will be much better. There's no
mm,
creativity right now, and that's how I see it.
yeah,
So yeah, but look, it's no good kind of starting the job that we've done, and we've done very well, and I've really been impressed. And then not look, I know we can't do absolutely everything and cure everything, but we need to still get a few more players in now in that final third because
yeah,
there's a big imbalance at the moment. Our defence,
yeah.
goalkeeper, absolutely
I think
perfect.
I think some guy said to me the other day, we'll probably if we carry on like this, we'll be the only team to not concede a goal but not get promoted. you know,
Oh no, I know. So we have got a big imbalance at the moment. So we're
you
going to
know,
have a look at how the squad looks at the moment, and I've kind of done this diagram in terms of who I see,
yeah,
potentially will be in the squad. But so yeah, let me just have a look here. So I don't know if you can see this, uh, but yeah, obviously we've got numerous options in that defensive line now. Goalkeepers have got numerous options as well. Will Nichols leave? Will Chapman leave on loan or whatever? I don't know yet. We'll see. But as you go further forward, the wings especially are really lacking. I'm not convinced with Ben Wiles in that number 10 role. I think he's
I
dreadful.
can't see
Uh,
I can't see him
he,
holding that. No.
he's good to have to come off the bench, but he's not a regular star for me because he comes in and out of games too much. That's how I see it. He's not consistent enough.
Yeah,
I'm not convinced about that defense. If we do play it, I'm basing it on what formation I think we'll go with, by the way, in this as well. Kane, I'm not convinced with him since he's come in. Evans has been absolutely dreadful. So I think we need another option in that. I know probably Leds. I'd probably start Ledson and Kasumi in that deep line midfield there, but we need another option from the bench. I don't really rate Kane or Evans. But
yeah,
yeah, that's how our squad's looking at the moment. The strikers, we've got loads of strikers, but the only striker I see that's going to be any use to us is Taylor and hopefully Charles. That's how I see it. I don't see
I mean,
Healy,
we're
Radulovic. Yeah.
contractually obliged with them both, aren't we? That's the problem because we've just signed them and we're going to sort of like irrespective. We've got them.
Yeah,
Um,
well, Healy's got 1 year left in his contract.
yeah,
Radulovic has got 2 years. Um, I mean, Radulovic hasn't even been seen pictured in pre-season training or anything at the moment, so he's probably injured again.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. Same
he's
old.
not going to offer us anything though. But I
No,
have
he's
put
not.
him in there. So yeah, so having a look at this, then obviously, where would you be going next to get somebody in? Would you be looking at the wing? Would you be looking at getting some more wingers in, or would you be looking at
I
a
would
number
because
10?
well, I mean, we definitely need. I think we need a CDM, a defensive midfield player. I think Ledson's is more of an attacking midfield
Yeah,
player. I think we need to be able to have a defensive midfield player in there as well, someone to hold that line once we've gone forward, distribute that ball. I just don't know who's available that would fit that role. That's it's such a hard role, isn't it, to
yeah, you
have?
just don't, yeah,
And when I
it's not.
look at the availability list for our league, there's no one available who would fit that role. And then you go into the championship at the free agents list to see who's available, and you're thinking to yourself, I wouldn't take a lot of these because they're sort of like they're coming up to sort of like 32, 33.
Yeah,
And we've got such a young dynamic team at the moment that I wouldn't want to put a 30 plus year old in there because we're going back to the players that we had last season that were getting to the edge. They were sort of like knocking on a bit, weren't they? A lot of our players, and
Yeah.
but I think a central defensive midfielder definitely. We're definitely short on them wings. If that's how we're going to set up for the season, if he's going to use wingers, we haven't really got
Yeah.
wing backs, have we? So
Yeah, the biggest indication to me that he's going to be playing with wingers is that he brought Harness in. He wouldn't have brought
yeah,
him in if he wouldn't have been because he's obviously an out-and-out winger, and that's where he
yeah,
plays. So he wouldn't have brought him in if he wasn't going to play that
yeah,
formation with
totally,
the wingers.
totally.
So
I mean, he wouldn't be playing. He wouldn't. I mean, he needs that option to change it up.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe it depends on who we're playing, but
But we need a
again,
settled
we're not
formation
going to
more or
know, are we?
less.
We're not
Yeah,
going to know until
yeah.
them competitive games.
And you said Ledson's more attacking. I don't think he plays more in the defensive role. That's
Do you
why
think
I don't
he's
think
more?
because we don't play. He's not going to play in the set. He's not going to play in the number 10 role, is he? I don't.
No,
He's
well,
not
he's
a
not.
number
No,
10.
no. I suppose
So
he's
he's
not in
more
that
of a
respect.
he's more of a deeper player, but may like to get forward. I'm not saying he's going to stick there, but he may like to get forward. Kasumu could be the one that sits in that too. But
Yeah.
Ledson maybe like to get forward, but no, I do think he plays in that defensive
Yeah, I
midfield role
mean,
predominantly.
he's probably got. I mean, look, them central midfielders, can defend or attack, can't they? At the end of the day, it depends on what um, have they got a shot on him? You know,
Yeah,
get,
but
you
I
know.
think there's different roles in different teams. I think that defensive midfielder is more predominantly to do that defensive work. But yeah, I get what you mean.
Mm,
Um, Josh was in the EFL, in the league now. Big up.
cool.
Good to see you. And Hakeem Adofin would have been a good sign. Yes, I do agree. I had
Oh,
him
that's
on my
weird. Yeah,
list.
that's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
another missed target. Where's he gone? He's gone some. I can't remember where he signed now, but
was he
he's
not
gone some.
retained? Did he not sign another contract?
No, he was free. He was on a free.
Oh, I
Yeah, he was
thought,
on.
yeah.
Yeah, Rotherham released him, I believe, for some reason.
Jeez.
Maybe they. I don't think they released him out of choice. I think he decided he wanted to get
Right.
moved somewhere else. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, he's gone somewhere, but I can't remember where he's gone. Maybe somewhere in the chat can tell me. But yeah, I agree. A Dolphin would have been a good option. Maybe instead of a Watmore. I don't know. Maybe instead of him, I don't know. But yeah, he's at Luton. He's at Luton, the Dolphin. Yeah, now. Yeah,
Right.
that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Strange.
Anyway, that is it.
Yeah. I mean, Luton have only had a couple of changes, haven't they? I think they're going to be pretty solid this season. So
Yeah, no, they are. They're going to be solid. But I think the
yeah,
thing is, for me, from Luton's perspective, is that what I see from Luton is that they're on that really downward spiral. It's hard to stop that. It's hard to stop that downward spiral we've seen from other
yeah,
clubs. They have back-to-back relegations. That is hard to take as a club overall. I know maybe a lot of the squad's changed much, but it's still ingrained at that club, and
yeah,
it's hard to really start to move up again. I'm not saying they won't, but I'm just saying it's not
yeah.
going to be as easy as
I mean, a
that.
lot of the
But
problems, isn't it, is that when you go down, when you drop, well, I mean, unfortunately, we've done it, dropped twice, two leagues,
yeah,
but when
yeah,
you drop even Championship to League One, I was sat there thinking, yeah, we'll bounce back, we'll bounce
yeah,
back. We've got a great team, we'll bounce back, and look what happened, um, and then I look at like your Lutons and your Plymouth and your Cardiffs and League One is hard. It doesn't make no difference because I'm telling you now, you'll hear them Plymouth and you'll hear them
yeah.
Cardiff. They'll have forgotten how hard that league is.
Yeah,
Them
it's not as
referees are
easy. Yeah,
crap.
yeah,
Them
yeah.
linesmen are
No,
crap. They literally, you know,
some of the stages you go to, it's not easy to grind, is it, and do
no,
what you need to do.
no,
And yeah, no, it's not because a lot of people were saying, "Oh, yeah, we'll be up there next. We'll be up there in promotion hunt. When we got relegated
yeah,
down to League One, and everyone was saying, "Oh, we'll be up there, we'll be up there."
yeah.
It doesn't work like that. I know Birmingham did go up, but apart from that, who else came down with us that season?
Oh God, can't blooming remember now.
Birmingham, us, and somebody. But anyway, that other team weren't anywhere near the picture either. So it's like it doesn't
Yeah,
work. It doesn't work like that. You have to work. You still have to do what you need to do to get the results. It's not easy. You've
yeah,
come up against
yeah,
teams as well that because they know you're a good side. they'll sit deep and try and frustrate you, and it's horrible football to watch in League One. Honestly, we need to
Well,
get out of this league as soon as
I
possible.
sat there and look at all the time wasting that went on in some of them games. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
it
look at the
was,
styles of play that
yeah,
have come into our stadium now compared to what we saw in the Championship. It's just so
yeah. I mean, there
depressing.
were
You know what
time
I mean?
wasting in 15 minutes on some of the games, and you're
The
like, what
time
is
wasting.
going
Yeah, yeah,
on?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
It's
agree. Yeah.
like it's bizarre, but yeah. So yeah, they're going to find it difficult. I think it'll be a big shock for Plymouth. I can't wait to go down to Home Park.
I'm
Actually,
I'm gonna go down, because I haven't been to play. It's a long journey, blooming out, but
yeah,
I think I'm gonna go down because I've not been to that stadium. I'm ticking off this new stadium, so yes, hopefully
yeah,
get
Home
down.
Park. Yeah, it's a good stadium. It's all right. It's not too bad.
I can't
So
remember
yeah,
when we play them actually away. I can't remember when we play
well,
them.
January,
Oh,
I
is it?
believe.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Paul says, can't ask for any more in Owen Goodman. No,
No,
absolutely.
can't.
Really, really
It's a
strong.
great. It's absolutely amazing.
We're just catching up with comments here. Swear Radulovic played today. Or did he play today? Like I said, I haven't had a look at the report. I don't know. But he hasn't played any part in any of the game. I've not seen him in any
Yeah.
pictures at pre-season training. That's what I said. That's what I was saying before. But maybe he has to play today. I don't know. Radulovic was at the Barrow friendly. Was he watching? I don't think he was involved, was
He
he?
was handing
Is
out
it?
the Lucasade.
I mean, I just can't believe we signed that guy. Honestly, Lonvine, yeah,
Yeah.
Lonvine for
Oh
yeah,
God. Do you know
yeah,
something?
he's
Sean Lodwick. That's a massive. I couldn't believe it when he left. Um, Another one actually. Great player.
he disappointed me. I
Did he?
expected more from him. Yeah, I expected more from him when he came in. People were saying, this is an amazing player, and I
Yeah.
saw glimpses of that, but I wasn't that convinced when he was playing. I know then he got injured a little bit as well, but I wasn't convinced with what I saw, and I expected better really. So I don't know. I
Yeah. I
wasn't
mean that injury. I'm just like, is that going to be something that reoccurs with them as well? And you
potentially,
know,
yeah.
you know.
But anyway, it's Luton's problem, not now, not ours
Yeah.
anymore.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Rotherham, yeah, Rotherham came down
That's
with
it.
right, yeah.
Rob.
So
Yeah.
yeah, Rotherham struggle. Look at Rotherham.
I know.
So yeah,
Sad.
yes, I can't believe I forgot about that. But look,
Yeah.
um, yeah, we're linked with Lyndon Gooch at the moment, aren't
Gucci.
we?
Yeah.
Would you like to see him come through the door? And also Danny Emery as well from Crystal Palace, we're linked with as well. Would you have a preference in those two, or would you like to see both come in?
I don't. I mean, we need someone that's versatile that can take over that Brody Spencer position now.
I think
And I
Lyndon
think
Gooch. I think
Gooch
Gooch.
is the man for that. Yeah, I think he
Yeah,
definitely is. Someone that can get down as well, drive a bit
yeah.
forward, versatile as we've already said. He's a good player. So I'm happy. I'd be happy with any of them, to be honest. You know.
Yeah, no,
Um,
but we need the right. I know what you're saying,
but
but I think
Gooch, I think's the man. I think
yeah,
if we're going to go for one, Gooch should be the man.
yeah,
And I think they said today, talks are quite advanced with him now, aren't they? So
you know who I'd like to see a sign as a striker? I'd like to see us go and get Bailey Cadamartri from
So
Sheffield
we spoke
Wednesday.
about that before, didn't we? And I
Yeah,
totally agree with you. I can't believe. I mean, we may have our fingers in the pudding. We might be sort of like testing the water there. If I think if Lee Grant gets a phone call with him and explains what Town are doing and the forward-looking vision and who's in the team at the minute, we might draw him in.
and because of Sheffield Wednesday's sorry states at the moment, I
Yeah.
don't know. Players are allowed to leave now, so I don't know if he's been one of the.
Only
I
if
don't
they've
think
not
he.
been paid for 5 weeks or 6 weeks or
Oh,
something.
I
Yeah.
see. Right. Okay. So maybe he's not in that category. Because I know
Yeah.
few players have. I don't know what their
Only
six.
two got paid. Only two got paid, and the other four can leave. I believe out of the six that put in the notice. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Right.
So
So
I believe he's still one of the guys that can leave.
the thing is, Cadamartri has got a link, hasn't he? Well, the Cadamartri family.
Yeah,
Obviously,
that's
Danny
right.
used to play it. So will that
Yeah.
would Bailey be up for coming to us? You know what I mean? But yeah, I really like him. I'm a big fan of him. And I think that he was on loan at Lincoln, wasn't he, last season as well? I remember when
Yeah,
he
that's
came
right.
to our
Yeah,
place, and he really impressed me how he played in that game. And I just think he's got a lot of qualities, a lot of pace.
yeah,
He's a tall lad as well. He's strong. I think he's strong. I think he's strong as well.
yeah.
So
And I think
yeah,
that's what we're lacking in that in that sort of like forward areas now. We need a bit of height now.
yeah, absolutely we
Definitely need
do.
some height there. So,
Um,
but yeah, that'd be a
but
great. That'd be a great. If that crossed the line, I don't know what I'd do. I think I'd even go into H Town and buy beer.
oh my days,
You know.
I know it's crazy, innit? We just keep, if we keep pulling, but we need to do a lot of work, don't we? And we've already alluded to, but
Yeah, definitely,
3 weeks to
definitely.
go until the season begins, and I do think we need to be getting a move on again. I know we've done a lot, but I still think we need
Well, if
to
Kevin
get a move
Nagel's
on.
watching this tonight, Kev, you know what you need. You know.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. He might come across it. I know he likes a dabble on social media, and obviously, I don't know if he goes into YouTube much. But yeah,
Yeah, don't.
but yes, highest priority positions. Like I said, we've already alluded to creative midfielder. Definitely that number 10 role needs to be filled.
Yeah,
More
we need some
wingers,
support on the wings, don't we?
more
Definitely
wingers,
support. Yeah,
and another defensive midfielder. And I think we need another striker.
yeah, one
So
hundred percent.
that's
We need. I was when we spoke previously, Ryan, about that midfield, that striker role as well, and it's like we were that ball were coming over last season, and Taylor might as well have just like done his laces up because it was never going to hit him. You know, same for
yeah,
Charles. The ball needs to be played on the floor for them guys. So if we are going to put it over the top, we do need someone that can get to that ball.
yeah. No, I agree. We had, would you have liked to have seen Nathan Lowe come? Because obviously that saga was
Oh my
on,
God,
this
yeah,
summer,
one
wasn't
hundred
it?
percent, 100
Why
percent.
was Stoke again? Were messing
Yeah,
us around with that deal, in my opinion. Again, they
I,
did it in January
well,
because they kept
yeah,
changing their mind. They kept changing
that's
their
it.
mind.
Well, it's trying to pump up the price, isn't it? It's just the Galbraith saga was another one where they're pumping up the price.
Yeah, I
You
wanted
know,
him as well. I would have loved to,
yeah,
but obviously, yeah, he's gone to Swansea, hasn't he now? So yeah,
yeah, yeah, and good on
um,
him.
yeah,
He's easily. I mean, he'd fall into honestly into. I think he could easily go into a Premiership team. Galbraith. I think he's
yeah,
that good,
yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. But I
You
think
know.
with the Nathan Lowe, I think it was they said that he was available for a loan to any League One club. Then they
Yeah,
changed their mind, and then they said they might sell him at the right price, and then they said, well, we're not selling him now.
yeah,
So yeah, he was available on. Everybody thought that in League One clubs were looking and thinking, yeah,
yeah.
let's try and inquire about him because it was a loan that they said
I mean,
initially. But
realistically, I think maybe what happened there was that it might have been Lowe himself. Trying to get a better contract. It
I
may
don't
be a
know.
thing that they're doing in League One now instead of the Premiership. So,
But yeah, I would have
yeah,
loved Galbraith and I would have loved Nathan Lowe,
yeah,
but
definitely
you
two
can't
players
get
that.
you can't get everything you wish for, I
Hey,
guess. But
we don't
yeah,
need them. We don't need them now. They've gone. So,
no. Uh, Bailey Cadamatri's youngest brother is joining Man City for up to 1.5 million apparently. Joshua says.
that'd be
All
interesting.
right,
Yeah.
interesting, yeah. But yes, we've actually wrapped up this show very, very quickly. To be fair, that's all I've got on my list. But any final thoughts to close,
Well,
or yeah?
what do you think on the new kit anyway? The green and gold.
Oh yes. Well, guys, I'm going to be doing a video on that actually. But I actually like just a little tease, and I'm not going to say my full opinions. But yeah, I do like it in a way.
We look
But
like
that
Plymouth Argyle, mate. Come on.
yeah, we do a bit. I'm not too
Someone did a
sure.
mock-up of a black and gold striped kit,
I don't
and
think I like it. I don't
did you
think I
not like
like
that
it.
one?
I don't think I like this green one.
No,
I
no. If we'd have had that black and gold striped, I think that'd have looked amazing.
Hmm.
But hey, we're not the kit sponsors.
But they've done it weird, haven't they? This time they usually announce the away shirt after the home, not the third kit
That's right.
second.
Yeah,
So I don't
yeah,
know why they've done it that way around, but yeah.
yeah.
Maybe they
It was
wait. Maybe they're trying to get a new signing to unveil with that new away kit. Anyway, it's wishful thinking. I know.
Jamie Vardy, I've heard.
Oh, really? Yeah, Kalen Cole Cadamartri
Yeah,
has joined
Kevin
Man
Cole.
City. Yeah,
Yeah.
his youngest brother, Bailey's youngest brother. Yeah.
Mhm.
But look, I appreciate
Cadamartris.
you coming on. But look, we've got plenty to do in this window. We already know that, and let's hope we can keep moving in the right direction and get some more forward players in through the door in the next week or so. But yes, is that
Yeah.
all? Any final thoughts apart from that?
No, I just think I'm interested. I want to get down to the Burnley game. I want to see how we
Yeah,
line up. I think that's going to be our first kind of glimpse
yeah.
at how the team formation is going to be. Hopefully, a few more people through the door before that happens. I don't even know if Goodman's back for that
Yes,
game
he
because
is. He is. He's going to Austria. He's going
right.
to the
Oh, he's going
camp.
to Austria.
He's going
Brilliant.
to. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, he is. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so we're gonna see sort of like a strong sort of like defensive you know back line and
It'll be a
some
good test as well, won't it,
yeah
against Burnley
yeah
as well? I think it's a good game to have a week before the season begins. Yeah, I
yeah
like
oh
that.
definitely
I
definitely
like that. I
yeah
like that. Yeah, really good test for us. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, no, exciting times. The open training session as well, of course, very, very
yeah
soon, which I'm
yeah.
looking
So if
forward
anyone's
to
going to
see.
that's on the 21st on a Monday.
A
So if
week
anyone's
on
interested,
a week on Monday, yeah, and it's
yeah
free for season card holders if you are season cards. Yes, but I'm coming for that spot in this season's. Oh, you're coming for top spot, yeah, in the fantasy. Yeah, well, we'll see about that one. I did terribly last year. That's probably why I didn't keep up with it. Anyway,
yeah
but
cool.
look, thank you very much for joining me, Mike, this evening, and thank you everybody in the chat for joining us as well, and thanks for all your contribution. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment your
2000
thoughts.
2000 come
Yeah,
on
2,000 subscribers on the road to two. I can't believe I'm saying it, guy. I can't
yeah
believe it. It just feels like a dream. Need to sign a few more players before Austria. I mean, to be fair, Austria training camp friendlies. Yeah, obviously we play
yeah
2 games. I don't. Well, I think we might potentially maybe get one in, but they go out on Sunday, don't they, for that? So,
yeah. I think I don't know who's
so
in there. I don't know who we're in for at the moment. The club's been quite tight-lipped on our transfers.
yeah. Apparently, Lyndon Gooch was at the training ground on Thursday. That's what O'Rourke said, the
Yeah,
journalist that
it was in
reports on the
McDonald's
EFL.
with him. That's why.
But yes, apparently he was at the training ground. So I don't know what. I don't know if they wait. I don't know why. I was hoping it may have been announced today, but it hasn't done. So yeah.
Yeah,
But look, let's see what happens. I'll be back. I might actually release the first impressions of the third kit tomorrow. I'm going to record it tonight and I'm going to release it tomorrow. But yeah, I'll be back on Monday after that for another live show. And Shane is putting some kind words saying he hopes that we do well. Big up to you, Shane. Thank you very much. Hopefully we do really well.
yeah. Cheers, Shane. We all
Yeah,
hope we do well this season.
yeah. We
Yeah,
need some joy. We need some happiness, don't we? It's been a long time coming. It's been
yeah,
misery for too long now.
yeah,
But look, a good start to this window, and let's see what we can do for the remainder, and let's see if we can get some more players in as soon as possible.
yeah,
I always struggle to end this, by the way.
yeah,
But look, I'm gonna end it now. So yes, have a good weekend, everybody, and we
yeah,
will see you all very soon. Thank you, Mike, for joining, and thank
yeah.
you all for the chat.
Up the town.
Take care, everybody. See you later. And a delay because I've got the outro video coming.